Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Bits and Pieces, a series just for you, Visual Studio subscribers. I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, April Yoho. I'm a developer and I work for GitHub. Visual Studio subscriptions recently doubled the Pluralsight offering. Professional standard subscribers now get up to 6 months, and enterprise standard members get up to 12 months. But there's so much more. Let's talk about the amazing features Pluralsight's learning platform has to offer you and how you can be prepared to take full advantage of the benefit. So you ready? Let's get started. Now today, we'll be speaking with Tucker from Pluralsight. He's going to help us gain some insights into their learning platform, and he's going to help us explore how Visual Studio subscribers can maximize their benefits. Tucker Austin is a senior product marketing manager at Pluralsight. He has spent the last 3 years helping tech organizations build stronger talent and processes. Tucker, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, April. We love our relationship with Visual Studio, and we're super excited about this increased benefit we're providing.
Awesome. Really happy to have you here today because Pluralsight has been a benefit for Visual Studio subscribers for quite a while. So could you start by telling us about the courses and the learning paths that a lot of things that Pluralsight has to offer to our users out there?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So, Pluralsight is a tech workforce development partner. We partner with businesses and individuals to help them improve their tech skills. We focus on 4 key domains that are crucial to any tech organization. The first being software engineering, second being AI and machine learning, third is cloud, and fourth is cybersecurity. We do this with a few different learning formats. We have your traditional video courses like you'd expect. We also have written transcripts for those that might benefit from that medium. And then we have world-class experiential learning experiences, things like labs and sandboxes that help you apply the learning that you're undergoing. And then additionally, we offer certification prep. So for those that are learning a technology that requires a certification or would like to beef up their resumes, we have really great holistic secure certification pathways that help people get certified.
Awesome. Now, you spoke about quite a few of the courses that you all offer. So what are some of the features that subscribers can expect to see on Pluralsight?
Well, first and foremost, we're most well known for our expert author network. We dedicate immense resources to vetting and fielding the best authors possible. So we have industry leaders that are not just expert theoricians or people that know stuff, but they're also people that are applying it in their daily jobs. So we partner with them deeply to develop the entire curriculum to help curate the most comprehensive journey for our learners. We have about a 5.5% author acceptance rate. So we're very selective on who becomes a Pluralsight author. And then we, of course, treat them very, very well and have really great relationships with them to help us take the platform to another level. Additionally, as mentioned before, our experiential learning is world class. It's the best of the best. We set up production environments that let you have on-the-job production experience without risking your own production environments. So that way, once you're done learning, once you're done applying these skills, you can take it straight to your job and you can feel confident in your abilities. Lastly, we have skill IQ and role IQ capabilities that really help you to assess where you are, especially in comparison to the role that you may be wanting to develop yourself into. And we can make tailored recommendations on specific modules that help you increase your learning efficiency and bypass stuff that you already know. And then all this is made possible to help enable entire tech orgs. So that way you can bring your entire team along for the journey, not just smaller siloed squads.
There's a lot of options there. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. So, Tucker, if I'm a first-time, user of Pluralsight or a learner, where do you suggest I even start?
Yeah, there's so many resources available to learners on the Pluralsight platform. And we want to make sure that they can leverage all of them properly. So one of my favorite places to start for a new learner is with our new AI assistant called Iris. Iris is built on the most advanced LLMs available in market today. And then it's also trained on Pluralsight courses. So that way you can get all the benefits of AI, like just-in-time assistance, helping you with things that are tailored to your needs in the moment. But then you also get all the great resources that Pluralsight already has baked in. and you can get selected modules specific to your problem you're facing right now. So I'm going to do a brief demo here with Iris. My situation is I was having some issues with a sticky loop that wouldn't terminate. And so I wanted to make sure that I had a good understanding of how to do that. So if you go into Pluralsight, there's on the left tab, there is an Iris button here. And this just brings you to our Iris chatbot. And I came in here, I pre-filled it with this. It says, do you have any quick tips for building a loop in JavaScript that ends once it meets a condition? And so I just press enter here. Iris will do some thinking. It'll come back and it'll give me some code snippets that might help me troubleshoot my code. It'll give me some tips and tricks and ways that I can make sure that the loop's ending on time. So here's those code snippets here. We can press copy code, come down, you can see an example, some logic there and how to break with a break command, right? Super cool, super useful, kind of stuff you see in other LLMs. But then I could say, I'd like to learn more about this. What about courses? Can you recommend any courses that I can take that'll help me with my loops? And I also do a little bit of thinking here, and it'll start to index some of our courses here for me. So we have some intro to JavaScript types courses, but then right here we have a specific module where it's about using while and for within loops. And if you notice in the parentheses, it says interactive, which means we're going to have some sort of experiential learning component to this. So these all look good. I'm really excited to take these. So one cool functionality is I can just press this add to channel button. I can select each of them or all of them at once, and I can add it to a channel that I can then share with the rest of my team. And then they can come and benefit from this as well. Or I can just save it for me to consume later. So really, it's exciting to have this technology, this capability available so that learners can go in and right away get help with the problem that they're stuck on. Step number 2 for a new learner that I'd recommend is, especially if you're looking to transition into a new role, I'd recommend going and checking out the role IQs. So role IQs are functionality we have built in where we've indexed the most popular roles in market, and you can go and understand what skills you might need or what concepts you might need to know in order to successfully transition into a role. And you can have a very clear charted journey to get there. And then lastly is skill IQ. It's a cool capability we have in Pluralsight. They're 20-minute adaptive assessments that adapt the questions you're getting to help pinpoint the level of competence you have in a specific skill set. And so when you're done taking the assessment, it gives you a benchmark that you can come back and reflect on later. But then it also gives you specific recommended modules that help you patch the gaps in your knowledge. So that way you can skip the review part of learning and get straight to net new content that helps you upskill.
That's awesome because I know when I've been learning content, I'm sometimes halfway down a course going, this isn't the right place. It looks like there's some great ways to navigate it, figure out where our learners really need to be and where to jump in at. So that's awesome. Now, I want to switch gears just a little bit and I want to dive into the process of how content is created at Pluralsight. How does Pluralsight determine what courses to build and what does the process of building a course look like?
Yeah, great question. Uh, Having world-class content is a top priority for Pluralsight. We make immense investments in this, and we curate our own content with the objective being that we have the freshest, the most up-to-date, the most effective content available. So it really starts internally with our content team at a research phase. And so I've got this chart here that shows our 6-step approach to content. The first is research, where we collect role-based market data points. We look at job listings, we look at what roles companies are hiring for. We try and understand where the market's going, so that way we can skate ahead of the puck. And then we start to talk with our expert author network, right? We don't just leverage them for developing courses, but we also partner with them to try and understand where they see technology evolving because they're, boots on the ground, seeing everything in field. And secondly, we start to develop and map the market demand to our library to understand where our gaps are and where we can improve our offering. And then we select authors, probably those that we've already chatted with, to come in and help us create our courses. Where we create it, we shoot it, we edit it, we make sure it's top tier, and then we put it out in the field into our learners' hands. And from there, we do a measurement and assessment to see how it's resonating with our learners. We ask each learner to submit feedback on how the course went. And then we take that very seriously and we implement that feedback and improve to help us have the best product available and help learners have the best journey possible.
That's awesome. It's really great to hear that you all are bringing in good experts. You have a very thorough approach, and that's really important when creating content. But when subscribers have feedback, how can they share this feedback with Pluralsight, and how is that feedback used?
Yeah, great question. To tell a little bit more about that story, at the end of a course, we ask for the feedback from every learner. So if you don't have much time, you don't have much to say, you can just leave the 5 stars, right? And we measure that. And it's very important to us. But then there's also an opportunity for our learners to leave a little bit more of a qualitative feedback, where they can say, "Hey, this portion of the course felt like it dragged on a little bit," or maybe there was like a technical issue that you had. Whatever the case is, there we look at both sides of this feedback. We take the quantitative, we measure it, we assess it, and then we also read thoroughly the qualitative. And then we come back and frequently refresh our courses. So we leverage all those data points to help ensure that learners are getting the best experience. So if you see that on our platform, please just take a moment and help us make it a better product for everyone.
That's awesome. And I know it's also important for Pluralsight to stay ahead of the curve with kind of the fast technology movement that we see today. And how does Pluralsight stay up to date with these latest learning trends? And how do you ensure the content is relevant and really meaningful to our viewers' work?
Yeah, we're living in 2025. Technology's never moved faster. I'm sure it's on the top of all of our minds how we can keep our skills up to date, so that way we can have the best future possible. And Pluralsight takes that mandate very, very seriously. I mentioned earlier that we take numerous data point collections across the market to predict where technology is moving, where roles might need to be. And then we also we talk with experts, we talk with analysts, with market leaders to try and understand what technologies they foresee as well. And we come back and we refresh content as well. And so if one of our partner applications that we have content for, like a GitHub or Visual Studio, makes an update, we want to make sure that that update's reflected within our course library as well. It doesn't do you much good if we tell you to press a button in the course and then that button's no longer there in the app. That's not a good learner experience. It's not good for your career. It can be really confusing. And so we make sure that we refresh our content frequently and we stay up to date with these important applications. And ultimately, we do all these things to help predict and prepare our learners for what's coming next.
So, speaking of looking ahead, what can subscribers look forward to? Maybe you can share some of the content that's going to be refreshed or added in the near future.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I can give some general concepts. I don't want to talk specifics. I'm not able to. But I'll preface it by saying in 2023, 2024, no surprise to anyone, our top content was AI materials. So I don't think that's going to change in 2025. In fact, I think we're going to have some really exciting AI concepts that are going to be further developed. Things like AI agents. 2025 is the year of the AI agent, as well as we constantly make more investments in the building block technologies. So things like cloud tech, things like software development, security, all those things that AI relies on is built on are also very much getting investments and being improved. And so, yeah, keep an eye out on the platform. If you're trying to get your head around this new AI wave we're on, it's a really great resource for that.
Cool. Now you've given us a bit of a brief view ahead, kind of what's coming down the pipeline and some updates to the content that's coming. So people definitely need to keep a lookout for what's coming out in the next few months. And I've learned so much about Pluralsight today. And our Visual Studio subscribers are going to get so much value from the platform. I really want to thank you for joining us today. It's been amazing to hear about all the great information on Pluralsight and all the thing that it offers as a learning platform. If you haven't already, please be sure to activate and use your Pluralsight learning platform to advance your skills, get expert authored courses, learning paths, adaptive skill assessments, and so much more. So that's it for today. I'm April Yoho, and I look forward to showing you more about how to use all the bits and pieces to help you get the most out of your subscription. So like, subscribe, and see you all next time.